of other petitioners insofar as the affidavit by Mr. Kindiki and Mr. Nyengenye is in issue. Otherwise, our quorum is as before.
My Lord, I don't understand the basis for the direction being sought from you, because you already gave the direction when we were before you that any party who desires to cross-examine the witness now on the dock would do two things. First, they would file a reply to that affidavit. And number two, in that reply, they would intimate whether they wished to cross-examine the witness now on the dock. Mr. Ndego Njiru cannot now purport to be ignorant of those directions, having not done what you directed should be done by anyone desiring to cross-examine this witness. Then he can't come here and just tell you we seek direction on what other petitioners should do.
Thank you, my Lord. We may proceed. Please state your full name, profession, and your professional qualifications.
Speak loudly, Dr. Liconyo, so that their lordships can hear you easily. Okay, the court. Okay, the court assistant can adjust the microphone.
With the permission of the court, perhaps you could place something under the microphone to just lift it up. Yes.
Your Honor, again, my name is Dr. Rigathi Gachagua. I am a medical doctor, a graduate of the University of Nairobi in 1975. It's 20 years last August. Postgraduate in internal medicine, the same university, 1980. Thereafter, fellow of cardiology, and now a member of a fellow of the American College of Cardiologists, trained in the previously a lecturer at the University of Nairobi.
Thank you. You have a document titled Affidavit, sworn on 28 April 2026, consisting of 12 numbered paragraphs. Do you recognize this document? Whose affidavit is it?
Your Honor, is mine.
Whose deponent's signature is on page 3 or 5 of that affidavit?
That signature, Your Honor, is mine.
Do you wish to adopt the contents therein as your evidence in this matter?
Your Honor, I do.
Please tell the court whether you are acquainted with any party before these proceedings in a professional capacity.
I believe when the party means the respondent, yes, I'm acquainted with my patient, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua,
Okay.
whom I have taken care of. From my records, Your Honor, my hospital records that I do have with me, I have been a doctor to the same Honorable Rigathi Gachagua since, if I could, 5:10 p.m. on the 10th of July 2006.
Okay. When and under what circumstances did you meet the first petitioner, if at all, during the period in issue and relevant to these proceedings?
I believe for the purpose of this issue, you are referring to his hospitalization at the current hospital, which again, from my record, Paddington notes, happened at 3:25 p.m. on the 17th of October 2024, Your Honor.
And what happened when you met him? What happened next?
Your Honor, the reason for his coming to hospital, the court said he's on the way with chest pain, and we received him and acted accordingly.
From your experience and expertise as a cardiologist, what significance do such symptoms have?
Your Honor, you know, chest pain has two categorizations. There's chest pain that can occur if you are going to have a heart attack, medical terms called a heart infarction. That, when you say you have chest pain in that category, we look at the possibilities of that being real. That's what we call the risk factors. Here's a man, his age.
My Lord, with a very kind permission. With a very kind permission. I have listened to where the evidence, my Lord, is headed. And in my very humble view, we appear to be expanding the scope of the petition and the affidavit that is before you, Lordship. My Lord, it is important that we stick to what is in the affidavit. For purposes of that is why we're here today. If we attempt to then expand beyond what we agree, then we'll be prejudiced. We'll have to file further affidavits, etc., to be able to respond to the questions that are being raised. We must, I submit, stick to that.
You are filing an affidavit.
My Lord, if I may respond, I would refer the court to paragraph 5 of the affidavit. Basically, the questions are formulated based on what the witness deponed to. Unless they specifically state exactly what is new, my Lord, we request that you do allow the witness to proceed with his testimony.
Laying a Christian does not presume introducing new issues by way of evidence in chief. It doesn't mean you then introduce new technical issues that we need to deal with. We'll have to respond to.
I think the way forward is, Ms. Ogolla, you will refer the witness to particular paragraphs of the evidence.
Okay. You do have the affidavit with you?
I do have it, Your Honor.
Okay. Please clarify what you meant under paragraph 5 of your affidavit.
Your Honor, paragraph
And based on paragraph 6 of your affidavit, what role or steps did you take with respect to the first petitioner having been presented before you? I refer you to paragraph 7 of your affidavit. Please clarify what you meant in that affidavit on paragraph 7. What examinations did you conduct, if any?
As my Lord did direct, could we be pointed to specific parts of both the affidavit and the attachments that then align with what the good doctor said? My concern is one, my Lord. By seeking clarification, we are then proceeding or extending beyond what is contained in this document. It then leaves us in a very precarious position in terms of Can I clarify, my Lord, beyond that contained in the affidavit?
My Lord, if I may assist the court, the issue being raised is we have a written affidavit, which is sworn testimony. Ordinarily, that would be the evidence in chief. The second issue is that it is right that where a thing has been reduced to a document, in this case, the affidavit, and the annexures thereto, you cannot, under the guise of examination in chief, purport to add to subtract from, to contradict, or vary. Even if this witness were to spend 2 days here, offering these things now being called clarification, it's just a waste of your time. Section 99(1) of the Evidence Act says that evidence is inadmissible.
Have been submitted a very brief reply. The rule of objections, as I know them, is that you object to something, objection irrelevant, objection something. There's no specific objection. You're being told that the objections, without a proper basis, we kindly request you to order that the examination in chief proceeds and concludes very shortly. Then my learned friends would have their time to impeach and to do anything lawfully the witness understand. Thank you, my Lord.
And that's why when we proceed with the latitude that those paragraphs in the affidavit gives you, and I think we must understand that we have an expert witness. It's also why we put in an expert just come tell us something we may not know. Therefore, give that latitude, please proceed.
Thank you, my Lord. So, what you are referring to was in paragraph 6 of the affidavit?
Your Honor, exactly. That's the question. The things I've mentioned are in that affidavit. The ECG, for the time, the doctor judgment, the court. I've not
Thank you. Please refer to paragraph 4 of your affidavit and annexure marked DKG 3. Annexure marked DKG 3. Can you explain the timings reflected in those documents?
Point number 8.
Paragraph 4 of the affidavit, which talks on when you approximately met the first petitioner, DKG.
Your Honor, as I mentioned earlier, that was on the day of admission, which we just clarified just now from my handwritten note of the hospital notes, which was on the 17th of October 2024 at 25.
Now, my lord, now the witness is confirming why you are hearing objections. The witness is referring to his handwritten notes, which are not attached to the affidavit.
My apologies, Your Honor. I will not refer them again.
Okay, please refer to paragraph 4 of your affidavit and annexure DKG 3. That annexure is titled Discharge Summary.
You should have somebody consistent, okay?
Yeah.
You know exactly what point you are on.
Yes. And there are timings mentioned in paragraph 4 of your affidavit, and there are timings indicated in the discharge summary. Could you explain those timings?
The date of admission, the date of discharge, that is
Yes.
Your Honor, this is the date of discharge, the date of admission is the time that the patient was admitted to hospital. The mentioned earlier, written here at 4:18 p.m. I'll qualify that, Your Honor, that you not understand what admission is.
No, my lord, that's exactly what the law says the witness can.
What you should try to avoid here is any interpretation of the document outside. No problem. Admission time 4:18 p.m. the day of October 2024. Discharge 20th November 2024, 1:06 p.m.
Okay, under paragraph 4, there is a timing of 3 p.m. What transpired at that time?
3 p.m. is the time of admission that the patient arrived in the hospital and was duly attended.
Just a clarification. 3 p.m. and there is the 4:18 p.m.
That's what I was going to, but I was stopped from saying.
Please clarify those.
If I'm allowed.
What happened at 3 p.m.? What happened at 4:18 p.m.?
My lord, we still retain the objection. It is in black and white in the Evidence Act. If it is in the document, no amount of oral evidence from this witness can be admitted for purposes of adding to, subtracting from, clarifying, or all these things is now purporting to do.
Your Honor.
Let me rephrase that, Your Honor, and because the times you've read them out, when did you see the patient? What time did you see the patient?
3:25.
As per paragraph 4 of your affidavit, what time did you see the patient?
Approximately 3 p.m.
Okay. What time was the patient admitted to hospital?
At that time that I talked about,
Which was?
3 p.m. But on the paper here, and you must allow me to clarify because you have to understand why that date is there, why that time is there. That's why we are here, to explain to you the discrepancy between 3 and 4. The honor you allow me and an answer to that. Just answer what
Yeah. Answer. Proceed.
The discrepancy is because as one comes to hospital, that is not admission. Admission is when the technical details are entered in the admission papers after all other factors have been taken care of. Who is your insurance, who is paying, and then the account department report that time after admission time.
Okay, thank you very much.
If there's no cover for that, you will not be admitted. You will be seen.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Now, refer to paragraph 8. Paragraph 8 of your affidavit and the annexure again marked DKG3, which is the discharge.
On the past 2023, on the other day, you say you were discharged on the 20th of October 2024.
Okay.
On this other case, it says discharges 20th November. There's no error in that. If your honor allows me, I can explain why that is so.
Please explain.
The answer is again, discharge process in hospitals involve accounting. You must pay before you are discharged. And then you have been discharged by the doctor, and you've been gone home and you're not paying your bill. Not technically not discharged. We call it an open bill. If the person come and clear all your bills and everything else, that's not technically financially discharged.
Thank you. Refer to DKG3, the annexure, which is a discharge summary, at page 4 of 4. Who wrote the discharge summary? Who wrote the discharge summary? It's at page 4 of 4.
Your Honor, if you allow me, I have to define what we mean by writing a discharge summary. Because our hospital, current hospital, is a training institution. You have medical interns, you have medical registrars, you have junior consultants, you have senior consultants. And the typing of the discharge summary, typing, printing on the computer, is done by the officer, or the registrar, or the intern. In this one, it was done by Dr. Sarita. But the consultant overreads what has been typed in there and signs that is correct. So it was prepared by Sarita, but signed by me, Dr. Milimani.
Okay, thank you very much. Still on page 4 of 4 of DKG3, an extra, which is the discharge summary. What did you mean by the follow-up, that ongoing review, follow-up?
I believe in medical terms, what you mean by follow-up in the discharge from hospital is that although you have been treated, there are issues that need to be followed up. How are you faring? You actually, at the current hospital, actually call patients at home and ask them, you are discharged last week, madam, how are you faring? But more than that, we give you an appointment to come back. Just make sure what we did was correct, you're getting better, and incident needs to be done. And then most of the time, you have to make a lifetime follow-up.
Okay. Is the next marked DKG3 to your affidavit true and accurate copy of the original discharge summary?
Your Honor, it is.
I'll go to the last bit. During the period the first petitioner was under your care, what communication, if any, did you receive regarding his condition from anywhere?
Oh, Your Honor, there are always follow-up calls, relatives, and friends. But in this particular case, Your Honor, I must be honest enough to specify that I did receive a call from our president asking about the status of the patient and for the appointment.
What did you communicate in response to that inquiry?
For the first one, Your Honor, I just say that we are in the process of doing various tests, and as soon as we have a conclusion, we shall let it known.
Okay.
But Your Honor, you must allow me to say this, that when I say that, I have to seek clearance from the patient that was spoken so people will get information.
Okay, very well. On my second last question, please refer to paragraph 10 of your affidavit. Paragraph 10 of your affidavit and annexure DKG4.
Yes, Your Honor.
And tell this honorable court the relevance, if any, of the annexures in relation to your testimony.
Your Honor, during this hospitalization, this hospitalization for reasons that after that time in a public issue and there are public notices in newspapers and television services covering the issue.
Okay. Lastly, please refer to paragraph 11 of your affidavit, and in summary, what you'd like this honorable court to understand regarding the first petitioner's admission and treatment.
Your Honor, I have only one statement to make, and that the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua was admitted to hospital on the day so specified and discharged on the day so specified and treated according to the terms of medical practice.
Thank you very much. That is all, my lord.
Good morning, Dr. My name is Modomi. I think we know each other. Yes. I will ask you a few questions on behalf of the respondents and the second interested party, who is the party I represent in this case. For the record, please confirm that your affidavit is dated 28th of April, the year 2026. You will agree with me, sir. This affidavit has been made 1.5 years after the events described in it. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
It's correct. Was this affidavit placed before the Senate?
I think we are aware because we exist and this request has come now.
The request has come now. You don't believe, sir, it is bizarre that a request of this nature in a case of this nature will be made 1.5 years down the line? Would you agree with me? That's bizarre. It's not natural.
Sir, I don't know the proceedings.
Okay. Fair enough. This affidavit has attached some medical records, Exhibit 3. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
That exhibit, was it placed before the Senate?
I won't be aware, sir.
You are not aware. But you will confirm whichever date we take from the multiple dates on it. These are again events that this document was available about 1.5 years ago by the date given there of 17th October, isn't it? You have to agree this document was available.
Yes.
You also have to agree that with due diligence, this document would have been placed before this honorable court about 1.5 years ago. True or untrue?
No opinion, sir.
No opinion? Fair enough. You have now attempted to explain a discrepancy between paragraph 3 of paragraph 4 of your affidavit, it talks of 3 p.m.
That's correct.
But Exhibit 3 at the top right talks of 4:18 p.m.
Yes, sir.
You agree that's a discrepancy on its face? On its face, without more looking at it, is there or is there no discrepancy?
None whatsoever, sir.
Are you saying 4:18 p.m. is the same time as 3 p.m.?
There are different times for different.
They are different times. Therefore, you agree with me, sir?
My Lord, could the witness be given the opportunity to complete answers to his questions without being cut short?
Dr. Gikonyo, is it your testimony that the time 3 p.m. given at paragraph 4 of your affidavit is the same time given as 4:18 p.m. in the medical record?
They are different
Good. They are different times.
occurrences. They are not the same thing they're describing.
Okay. This explanation you are now offering on the witness doc, is it given anywhere in your affidavit? The explanation for the discrepancy, is it set out anywhere in your affidavit?
It should be understood.
No, the question is it set out anywhere in your affidavit? That explanation you're now offering in court.
Not there because
It is not there. Good.
never raised. I would have given an answer.
We are here to raise it, unfortunately.
Given an answer.
Let's stick to that page 104. Dr. Gikonyo, you have to agree with me that we identify individuals in Kenya by reference to their national identity card or passport number. Correct or incorrect?
Staying on the purpose, sir. In my class, they call me DK.
Does this document indicate the identity card of the patient being attended to? Does it indicate the identity card number? National identity card number. Either it does or it does not.
We have the client ID number.
That's not my question, sir. My question is, on its face, does this document disclose the national identity card of the patient it describes?
Deliberately not.
Good. Does it indicate the travel passport number of the patient?
Deliberately not.
Good. Deliberately not. Very good answer. Does it give the patient's name?
Deliberately not.
Therefore, you have to agree with me, sir. A document that does not contain the patient's name, does not contain the patient's national identity card number, does not indicate the passport number. We have no way, based on the document, of ascertaining who is the patient described in that document.
We do ask the person prepared it.
No, the person on the doc is you. Does this document on its face, sir, disclose the identity of the patient described there?
Only by initials, RG.
RG, which could mean anything, isn't it?
To other people, but not to me.
Fair enough. I put it to you, sir, that you having brought this document to court, you cannot run away from the fact that it doesn't disclose the identity of your patient.
So when you go prepared, now I can disclose. If you ask me who it is, I'll tell you. RG?
RG could as well be Rob Gitau, right?
Could be, but it is not.
It could be Ruth Gitanga.
It is not.
I put it to you, sir, it can be anyone and anything.
In this category, no.
Okay, fair enough.
can ask me who is RG. I will tell you who is RG.
The problem, doctor, is we don't believe you. That's why these questions are being asked.
You ask me, why did you write RG? I can explain.
It is me who chooses, unfortunately, the questions to ask. So, let's go to that. The title of the document is a medical summary.
Correct.
You have to agree there is a difference between the summary and the primary document.
That's true.
So, has the primary document been placed before this court? Can you see it anywhere in your affidavit? You can take time to flip through. It is not in your affidavit. You have to agree with me, therefore, in the absence of the primary document, an independent reader has no way of confirming whether this summary agrees with the primary document.
You can ask the right.
No, on the document, sir, we are dealing with the document. In the absence of the primary document, would the third party have a way of confirming whether the summary is accurate?
If that document was adequate in itself, I would not be here. I am here to answer questions of that document. You say it was correct. If it was adequate of itself, you would call me here.
We actually called you, Dr. Ikonyo, because the document has just too many gaps. Let's go to the paragraph of your affidavit that talks of the 48 hours to 72 hours.
Right.
That's paragraph 7 of your affidavit.
Correct.
If that were true, it would mean this patient, and we mean patient RG, whose identity we don't know, it would mean that this patient would have been discharged on or before 20th October 2024. Correct or incorrect? We are following the document, sir. Your paragraph says he was admitted for how long? 48 to 72? Your paragraph 7.
Sir, please read correctly. We compared it.
And when does it say he was discharged?
On the 20th
Of which month?
of October.
Of October. Good. And what is the discharge date given in the medical summary?
November.
November. That's actually 34 days later.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
You have now attempted in your exam in chief to explain the discrepancy.
Not attempting. I give explanation.
Okay. Let's take it you have explained. You have explained while on the witness dock the discrepancy of 34 days, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that explanation set out anywhere in your affidavit? The explanation you gave this court for that discrepancy?
Yes. This is understood.
No, my question is the explanation you are now offering 1.5 years later, is it said, show me the paragraph of your affidavit that explains the discrepancy?
It was not required.
It was not required. But for the record, is it given in your affidavit, that explanation?
Not given because not.
Good. It's not given. This summary gives the consultants who are attending to the patient. Can you see that part of Exhibit 3?
I do, yes.
It begins with yourself. Who are the other doctors?
Your Honor, if you allow me to explain.
You can look at it. I haven't asked the question for you to explain. You can only answer questions I ask.
I know the names on the list.
The names given there.
Yes, I can look at them, but I know them.
You know them. Good. Is the maker of this document one of the doctors who are indicated as attending to this patient?
No.
No. So we don't have the primary document, and we have a summary made by a person who did not attend to the patient.
Not correct.
Not correct. Is Dr. Sarita, just for the record, indicated as one of the doctors in this summary who are attending to this patient?
She is not a consultant.
My question is she indicated as one of the doctors who are attending to the patient? From the list given at the top, is Dr. Sarita one of them?
Your Honor, I must explain what this list of consultants means in the audience here.
We are not interested in that. The question is she indicated? Either she is, and Dr. Wade, quickly, if you answer the question, the more we kick about the bush, unfortunately, the longer time we will take.
But I can't allow you, sir, to proceed on a misunderstanding.
My Lord, the witness has no...
Excuse me, the attorney. You can give evidence. You answer questions as put to my counsel without any
But Your Honor,
just answer the questions as put to you. If you don't know, you say you don't know. Then you proceed.
And that's how the law works, Dr. Gikonyo, just for the record.
thank you. I understand now.
So is Dr. Sarita indicated in this document?
Should you find that there's a need for clarification, then you will ask me to clarify. All right. Yes. Go on.
So, Dr. Gikonyo, is Dr. Sarita, the maker of this summary, indicated as one of the physicians that were attending to the patient, known as RG? On the face of it, is she indicated in the list of those doctors?
Not as a consultant.
Is she indicated in any other way?
As a preparing, as the one preparing.
No, that's not my question. Just wait. Is she indicated as attending to the patient in any medical capacity? The maker of this document.
Taking care of the patient are not listed.
I thought they are listed here, sir, about 6 of them.
These are the consultants. There are other doctors in the system, medical officers, intensive care doctors, and other people. And as I mentioned earlier, we are a teaching hospital.
Is there any material you have placed in your affidavit to show those other doctors and the fact that they were attending to the patient?
No.
Good. In fact, on the document before the court, we have no way of knowing who else other than the 6 given that attended to the patient.
Only by asking the person of the doctor.
No, we are talking on the document, sir.
Not on the document.
Good. Let's go to the bottom of that document. Bottom left. That document has a computer timestamp at the bottom left, correct? Bottom left, below prepared by Dr. Sarita.
2011, 24, 1240.
12:40 p.m. So what is the date and time of this document's preparation as per that timestamp? It is prepared on the 20th of November 2024 at 12:40 p.m. Correct or incorrect?
Right, that's right.
Now let's go to the opposite side of the page, bottom right. What is the date and time given? The date you confirm?
20 November 24, 1230, 119.
12:35. You have to agree those are 2 different timestamps. Correct or incorrect?
That's correct.
You must agree, sir, that it is not possible for this document to have been prepared at 2 different times as it purports to say.
I put that aside by the computer.
Unfortunately, sir, you have to agree with me that on the face of it, this is a discrepancy as to the time when this document was prepared. It has two timelines. Which one do we take? Good. You don't know. You have testified that this patient had a prior history. We go to page 204.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have summarized it there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you placed before this court any primary documents to prove this alleged prior past medical history?
Where is available?
No. My question, sir. Have you placed before court any material to show that this patient had prior history of the conditions described there?
None at all.
None at all. Good.
Where, Your Honor?
None at all.
It's available. I have it from you here today.
Unfortunately, it's you who testified on affidavit on oath, sir, that he has past history. So you have to agree with me then, in the absence of that material on the record, this is just an allegation. We have no way, based on your affidavit, to confirm that the patient described there had this prior history.
You have no way, but if you are interested in knowing, it can be provided.
Doctor, you say you did a number of tests on this patient,
Yes, Your Honor.
including an echocardiogram,
Yes, Your Honor.
2D, one is called 12 LED and the other one 2D, right? You must agree with me that that machine for echocardiogram generates a report and a graph, correct or incorrect?
Of course. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Have you in this affidavit attached that graph that the machine generates to show that the patient has the conditions described in the summary?
No, it's not. Available if required.
No. My question is, have you attached to the affidavit the report that the echocardiogram machine generates?
Definitely not.
Good. Have you attached the report that the other machine automatically generates?
Not attached, but exists.
Fine. Have you attached the images that were supposedly taken of this patient?
If I thought they would be used for this court, I would have attached them.
Fair enough.
I thought of those necessary to attach them, but they are available if required.
But you would agree with me that the images and the graphs and the reports would be the primary document evidencing the illness, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Therefore, if that is correct, you must agree with me that this summary, in the absence of those images and those graphs and those reports, cannot be the evidence that patient RG had the conditions described in your affidavit.
Unfortunately, I will not agree with you.
Fair enough. You say he also took some blood tests.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you attached the laboratory report of those blood tests to this affidavit?
Not required. They can't.
No, doctor, my question is,
They're not attached.
have you attached the laboratory report of the alleged blood tests?
Deliberately not. Available if required.
So again, based on your affidavit, you have to agree. We have no way of knowing whether there were blood tests or what were the results of any such blood tests.
I disagree. We have a way of knowing. Ask me to produce it.
Page 3 or 4 talks of hemoglobin, platelets, and blood chemistry and other things. Correct or incorrect? Either it does or it doesn't, Dr. Ri.
It does.
Do we have in your affidavit the primary document, that is the laboratory report for all these tests?
Available if required.
No, my question is, do we have it in your affidavit?
No,
Definitely not.
yes.
In page 404, there is some information there about follow-ups. Have you produced before this court any document on that follow-up?
Has not been requested.
The question is, have you annexed it, sir?
No.
You have not annexed it. So again, I put it to you, there is no material before this court to confirm there was any follow-up. Dr. Gikonyo, in summary, you have admitted you have no material before court to show the prior history of the patient. You have confirmed there is no material before the court to evidence his medical condition when you supposedly attended to him. And there is also now no material of the follow-up. Is it not because this gentleman was in your hospital to hide away from the Senate? He was not sick. I put it to you.
Let me laugh a little bit.
Trust me, I too have been laughing about it.
Your Honor, let's see how I must laugh. But honestly, sir,
Yes.
the question arises as to those documents that have been raised, if they are available, and we are looking for justice and honesty, you can ask me to provide them. And it takes 2 seconds. They are here.
Yes, you may have them, but they are not on the record, sir.
You can have them.
Unfortunately, the law does not permit you, Dr. at this belated stage, to even refer to them, because they should have been put on the affidavit. But to my summing up questions, your affidavit alludes to some media coverage of his alleged illness. Did you give yourself a press conference on this illness?
Yes, Your Honor, on demand from the press.
On demand from the press.
Yes.
Dr. Gikonyo, is it standard medical practice for doctors to give press conferences as to their patient's illness?
It depends on the sensitivity of the
No,
issue.
the question, sir, is it standard medical practice for doctors
Yes,
to call press conferences?
No, sir, we don't call for press conferences.
Okay.
Press comes to us.
When you are giving this press conference, the case before the Senate was proceeding, correct or incorrect?
Most likely so.
You found time to give a press conference, but you didn't find time to go and tell the Senate.
In what capacity would I go to the Senate?
Good. Wouldn't the Senate, where the proceedings were going on, sir, have been the natural forum for you or any of your colleagues to go and tell Senate that the witness cannot come because he has been admitted in hospital?
I'm not sure if access to the Senate is available to get the common person like that.
That's all from me. I'll yield the floor to Mr. Mukele, my lord, to wrap up the cross-exam.
My lord, there is a serious allegation in the form of a question raised by Dr. Thionkulu that Dr. Gekonyo was hiding the first petitioner. That was posed, and I'm not sure that Dr. Gekonyo was given the opportunity to respond.
Just for the record, the witness answered, and he said his answer was to laugh.
We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it, yes. Thank you.
My lord,
Leadership. Senior Counsel Dr. Thionkulu has covered quite a bit of ground. I will only have about 3 or 4 questions for this witness. I don't think I have much to add. Good morning, Dr. Gekonyo. My name is Edwin Mukele. I represent the 3rd and 4th respondents. I've been permitted by Senior Counsel Professor Ogienda to ask 1 or 2 questions on behalf of the Senate and the Speaker. Now, I had your last comment to be that you are not sure, and this goes to Dr. Thionkulu's very last statement, you are not sure whether you have access to the Senate. That's what I heard you say, correct?
I said so, sir.
Now, Dr. Gekonyo, the affidavit that you've presented before court is sworn on the 28th of April 2026.
That's correct.
That's correct. Do you recall when the first petitioner was impeached?
Not exact date, but I believe the same day that he went to hospital.
The same day that he came into hospital. Would that be the 17th of October 2024?
Most likely so, sir.
Most likely. This is about, we then receive your affidavit in court about 1.5 years after he has been impeached.
That's correct.
Now, going back to your evidence, and I'll be very brief, my lord. When asked a question on whether the documents you presented would have been presented to the Senate, your answer was, the request has come now. That is what I heard you to answer to one of Dr. Thionkulu's questions, yes?
That's why I'm here.
The request has come now.
That's why I'm here.
So the request, Dr. Gekonyo, to file the affidavit and the attached documents has come now. That is what you said, yes?
Yes, I mean, yes.
From whom did you receive the request?
From the petitioner.
You received the request from the petitioner.
Yes.
Do you recall, do you know when the petitioner first filed the petition? Might you know?
Why not? And I'm not interested.
You're giving evidence and you're not interested in the context of a petition in which you have no interest. Is that what you're telling the court?
Yes, that I'm here appearing on a medical issue, not a court issue.
That is startling, Daktari, I must say. It means, in my view, you probably don't understand the reason you're here. But I will go on. You have also, and this is my last question, mine are very brief. You have also confirmed that you did not know whether the affidavit and the documents attached were before the Senate. Do you have any information on that?
Not at all.
You don't have any information on that?
And I agree with you, sometimes I really don't know why I'm here. I understand that if I'm here to fundamental questions about the petition and injustice.
So,
about law things and forth and things.
So Dr. Gikonyo, you cannot tell the court, from what I understood, whether the affidavit and the documents presented today, the affidavit sworn by yourself on the 28th of April, were before the Senate at the time of the impeachment proceedings. You can. You only know. That's okay, Doctor.
No interest in those matters.
That's okay. That's okay. We understand that you do not know why you're here. My Lord, those are my very brief questions on behalf of the Senate. I beg to. Thank you.
Dr. Gikonyo.
My Lord, we had Dr. Kamoto to ask just two questions, then the witness can be re-examined. If you permit him, please.
My Lord, there was no affidavit filed by Dr. Kamoto, and you have given directions before the commencement of these proceedings.
Yes, my Lord, my lady. We have put our responses. We are doing a joint approach to this matter. We have a joint approach to this matter, and that's why you'll find, my Lord, that not every one of us makes submissions or presentations on every occasion. Otherwise,
if I allow you, then there's no basis why I don't allow that aside, because it's also just hangs on that point. To think for clarity or purpose, I don't think it's better to allow this.
It's okay, trust.
Very well. We are most obliged.
My Lord, I'll proceed with the re-examination of Dr. Gikonyo. Very quickly, Dr. Gikonyo, I'll refer you to paragraph 11 of your affidavit on the reason why you filed the affidavit. Could you come clear or clarify why you swore this affidavit, referring to paragraph 11?
Until I was made to understand that other things of the Senate and other court matters. Because as far as I'm concerned, Your Honor, that paragraph summarizes why that I made this affidavit in my capacity as a medical expert, not a legal expert, in adult cardiology, to assist this honorable court in establishing that the first petition was duly admitted on the date in question. And I went to treatment. That is what my understanding.
And you had earlier confirmed that the contents of your affidavit were true, to the best of your knowledge. Thank you. Just to clarify a few issues that have propped up during cross-examination, and I will go back to paragraph 4 of your affidavit, and I'll be direct this time round because it cropped up. Is there any admission issues in paragraph 4?
None at all.
Thank you. So at 3 p.m. on 17th of October 2024, what exactly happened?
At around 3 p.m. is the word. Approximately is the word.
Yes.
You want to know the exact time we have to decide that.
What happened?
About that time is when the petitioner arrived in hospital.
Thank you.
We took him in. We started the normal thing that we do for history taking his weight, our breath and the sun. At that time, we were on president.
the time of instant now, the admission process.
Thank you.
Admission is a process, not an instant.
And
as we are doing those things, the accountants asking who's going to pay for this, blah, blah. And when they are ready, then they take on a computer, this man is now admitted.
So when was he admitted?
According to our document here, 4:18 p.m. That is when the actual documentation of admission were completed. These are technical details of timing and writing. Before that time, they are still seeing the client. They are doing the necessary things. But it's technical, not admitted, because the accountants are not allowed us to do that.
Thank you. I'll refer you to page 1 of 4 of the discharge summary. And on the top, the patient name is Mr. RG. Who is RG?
You know, Your Honor, if you come to hospital and you are an ordinary citizen, you put your own names or your other names. There are clients we don't put names on record.
My Lord, we still object. That evidence is extrinsic to the record. It is inadmissible. And my good colleague here knows that question is also impermissible.
The question was actually raised in cross-examination, and what we are seeking is a clarification on who RG is.
Your Honor, I have said, our practice in the hospital protects privacy because this document for our hospitals. We use codes.
Okay, but who is RG? Who is RG? Okay, is there any other identification information in that document? Have a look. Is there any other identification information with respect to that, without necessarily reading it out?
There's a mobile person about it.
Thank you. Would you confirm whether there is any discrepancy between the affidavit and DKG3, the discharge summary? Thank you. And lastly, is DKRG, what document is DKRG? Because there's been an allegation of a medical report. What is DKRG? It's a discharge summary.
It's not a medical report. A medical report gives details that may not necessarily be required by this court. But if required, Your Honor, it's available.
And in your discharge summary, you are confirming what you deponed to in paragraph 11 on the purpose of the affidavit.
Absolutely.
Which is admission, discharge, and treatment.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all.
Just one very brief question, Dr. Gikonyo. It was put to you by Dr. Thionkulu that you admitted the petitioner, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, to hide him, suggesting he wasn't sick. And I think you responded by laughing. Now that you have finished laughing, will you please answer the question? Was Rigathi Gachagua sick or not sick? Why are you hiding him in your hospital? Please answer. It is a serious question.
I must say I laughed because I thought it was not a serious question because maybe it's not common sense. But however, the answer is yes, he was sick. We admitted him. We have data that's available to any medical person. You have medical reports. You have traces of his ECG, his echoes, everything. You have data that's available on demand by this court.
And apart from the documents, Dr. Gikonyo, you are here as a doctor, head doctor who was treating him.
Your Honor, that's why you called me to answer those questions.
That's all, Your Honor.
I was the one who was treating him with my team. He was sick.
You have data, you have provided an affidavit. If there's any further questions, you have provided.
That's all, my lord, your leadership.
Just for your information. Thank you, Dr. for coming to clarify those issues. You may now take your seats.
My lord, can Dr. Gikonyo be released as a witness to go back to his seat? Okay.
You can hear or you can go.
Oh, okay.